Ladies and gentlemen, SideStrafe here with Wargame European Escalation, and this is a real-time strategy game featuring a Cold War era conflict, and it was on sale over the weekend via Steam for 50% off, so I got it for $20, and I thought I would check it out because it seemed quite interesting, and I haven't played an RTS in a while. And well, here we are. We're going to do this first mission. I've played it once before just to get the hang of things, and I wanted to try it again to see if I could do a little bit better, so I figured I would record it. Now the controls are actually quite interesting with this one. If you zoom out with the scroll wheel, wherever you put your mouse is where it's going to zoom back in. So if I want to go to these units, we can come back here as well. So it's really interesting how they do it. It looks like we are part of the German army at this point. And what I'm going to do is see what we have to take out here. Some older Russian T-34s, it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and push up to this kind of ridge or hedgerow up here. And they'll move in here. So again, it's neat because you can be zoomed all the way out for really detailed multitasking, but then come back in if you really want to get a look at the action. I mean, this is how cool this is, that you can be this close up to your units, and they're pretty well modeled. You know, the textures aren't, you know, jaw-dropping, but considering the scale, this is ridiculous. So the game looks phenomenal in my opinion. And I guess once we get up to here, this will count as a heavier cover, and hopefully they'll be able to have range on these targets. Let's see what happens here. Just a second. I want them to stop right here. There they go. So shots on, and here's a little bit more of the tutorial stuff, but I'm gonna skip through some of that. Inbound. There we go. There's one down. And one more to go. Let's kind of watch that incoming fire. Oh, he's still... Oh, there we go. I mean, part of the fun... I've watched a lot of people play this, but I think part of the fun is actually getting to see your units. Although this is obviously better for, you know, gameplay. It's fun to once in a while, if you have time, of course, to just be able to zoom in a little bit. But let's face it. Oh, more fire going in. When you have the bigger battles going on, you're going to need to be zoomed out most of the time to control all your units, because this thing has about, I want to say, 300 different vehicles in it, and you can imagine how many of them can be on screen at any given time. So you'll need to be focusing on taking various points and defending. See, we have all these areas: Charlie, Kilo, Foxtrot, Bravo. And you'll have to hold them with different units. You'll be fighting battles on multiple fronts. So being fully zoomed out would definitely help your combat. But you can see we're engaging at distance here. They're moving up. I don't have control over these troops. They're green. I can only control whatever's blue, but they're just charging through. Those guys like throwing grenades at the tank. All right. So at this point, we look loaded up, so I'm going to push up to here. I'm going to tell them move fast. And hopefully we can get... There we go. He's down. Eliminate the enemy. Okay. So when you tell them to move fast, sometimes they'll actually get onto the road in a column formation and just drive straight. So use the move fast. Yeah, that's kind of telling me to do that. So recon Bravo sector. And I think the next point I want to push up to is maybe somewhere around here. And then I believe they're going to give me this recon unit right here. So you can see we're actually creating... we're actually running over the shrubbery or wheat field, whatever this is. And you see there, they've taken to the next, the closest road. And what they'll do is they'll take the road until they can actually get to the destination. And so as you can see here, reconnaissance units are indicated by the symbol, yada yada. The superior optics and special training to enable them to spot hidden enemies. So it says they're stealthier. So we can get a look at this guy too. So we need the recon Bravo. So we're going to tell him to... So we'll move him up just a little bit. I'm going to bring him to maybe right into here. And you can see when I highlight over it says medium cover. So that'll give us a little bit more protection or stealth capability. Then once this guy hopefully has some eyes on targets, we can move in the leopard tanks. Okay, so what else we got? Recon Bravo sector is complete. As you can see, we've already lit some targets here. I think I could probably sit back here. I'm going to stop him. And I'm actually going to tell him to shut off his gun because I don't want him engaging anybody. Not that he's in range yet, but... So what we're going to do is... Well, you have to keep in mind, too, is that you also have fuel, ammunition, and all that stuff. So... Normally, I would say I would like to come around this field and maybe engage from here. It's quite a long range, so I don't know if I would be able to make it, but I would like to flank, because if we look at these guys, they're pointed in my direction. However, we have to take fuel into consideration. And if you're moving through thicker terrain, it actually slows you down and consumes more fuel, so it's pretty detailed. And it's really kind of cool. Also, you can break down in certain terrain. So what we're going to do here, it looks like they've got another T-34 variant there. I'm going to push them up. Well, yeah, let's bring them up to the reconnaissance unit at least to start. And I also have track cam turned on, so it'll kind of... If you're close enough to your units, the camera, without me touching anything, will just follow them. And you can also turn on info units, so if you highlight over it now, we can see the caliber, range, accuracy, AP power, HE power, rate of fire, how much ammo I've got, and other, you know, armor detail specs. Really, really neat. I mean, it even says I've got poor optics, operational range, 600 kilometers, fuel capacity. So, and then you can turn that off. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring these guys slowly but surely. We're going to push up because we're not really any time crunch here. So I want to be cautious with this assault. How we doing, guys? All right, so I'm going to push up to maybe just right about here. I think we'll be getting in range soon. Stop. There they go. 2. Also, you want to make sure that you've stopped your units to fire. On the move, you're going to be less accurate. Foya. I love it. I love the firepower. It's a good beefy sound that just... Oh, we took a hit. And it's letting us know that. Come on, let them have it. How are these guys doing here? They look like they've seen better days. Come on, guys. You can do it. I think we've got one. We've got another one inbound here. Another T-34. He's routed. He's trying to get out of here. Oh, man. They pounded him. This guy's coming up. He's fresh, so... You can see, too, you've got your line, which will show you range to target. It'll be green if you can engage. And we had a sighting on this flank. Okay, so what we want to do is grab the reconnaissance unit. And our main objective here, too, is push back the NVA breakthrough in Bravo sector. So let me think here. What we want to do is I'm going to creep up just a little bit. There's not a lot of cover here. I want to be careful from this flank because I don't want to take fire on my right side. I again, I mean, it depends on fuel. But ideally, this would probably be a nice recon. But we don't know what's there either. So, you know, there could be something here or from this forest as well. And he's creeping up. So we're going to order the leopards forward, perhaps. I'm kind of, because we engaged something on that right side. You know, the worst case scenario is that this is a bad idea and we take shots on our broadsides, which I don't know how detailed it is. I don't know if it takes frontal armor into consideration, side armor being weaker perhaps, but all right, so I'm going to move this guy in right across here. Now, this game also has multiplayer. I haven't played any multiplayer games yet. I've only been through like 1 or 2 of the scenarios. It's challenging for sure. It's definitely a difficult game. This scenario here is pretty easy. The second one, they start throwing some stuff at you pretty quickly. And it definitely is a game for multitaskers. However, you know, it's not really necessarily about building structures. It's not like a StarCraft game or anything like that. It takes a completely different type of skill set. And I think that, you know, this reminds me of those old school tabletop style games. And I think, oh, we got contact. Halt. What is he? He's damaged. No. Or is he? He's the one that retreated, so I think we're going to bring them up. So this is, I mean, this is mostly about, I know there are some like forward bases that you can build and things like that, but they're really just basic structures, and it's more so just about units. And later on, while you're in game, you get points and you can call in more units, and you know, the more kills and successes you get, more territory you hold, the you know, the more points you're going to get to enable you to bring in more vehicles, infantry, whatnot. So as you can see here, we've got green. That's where we can hit, but the red, we've got a problem, possibly because of the wall being an obstruction. So they see him. They're like, well, we want to shoot at him, but we can't. I don't want to head over that bridge because that's a bottleneck. So I'm going to bring him like right here. And you see, we can watch the green line change. If it goes full green, we can just let him have it. Oh, there we go. Let him have it. Nice. Did we get hit? I think he tried to fire at us once. All right, so we got him. Now, I don't know if there's a command to make them face a direction. Like in Company of Heroes, you could hold a button, tell the armor to face, you know, a different direction, but I haven't figured out. Otherwise, I just have to kind of push forward a little bit. But who knows? So we're going to go back to the reconnaissance unit, and I want to be careful, so I'm going to kind of get to this crossroads here. And see if we can pick anything up. Not a whole lot. It's funny, at certain points you need to be patient, but then when, you know, when everything hits the fan, you just gotta, that's when you gotta, you know, kick it into overdrive and multitask like a madman. Alright, so I'm gonna push up to this little forest here. See, now I think also when you're in like a stealth or heavy cover, you start blinking blue like this. It also helps you see your units so you don't lose them completely. Ah, contact. They're starting to move. Did they see us? Oh, these are, what are the T-55s? These are bigger. Oh, crap. Alright, we need to bail. We need to get these guys up. What's our range to target? Halt, halt, halt. Let them have it. They're on open ground. How are we doing here? We've got a couple hits on target. Looks like the engagement's going in our favor so far. I love the range. I love that, you know, that it's a large engagement range. Oh, crap. We're taking... I'm going to let the gun go on this guy, so if he needs to fire, he can. We've got something here. What are these? Like some sort of APCs or something. Crap, I think our guy's routed, though. We're going to bring him behind the armor. Fire will gradually deteriorate. So you can see here, if you're routed, like, I don't have control over this guy because he's been hit so badly that he's freaking out. These guys are still coming in. They tried to go in for a flank, but I don't suggest that against my leopards. So he's routed. He's basically done for. And we're still, so come on. Can we finish him? What do we have here? Oh, infantry inbound. Alright, he's toast. If I were that infantry, I probably wouldn't be running towards tanks like this. They've switched to HE rounds now, so that's just going to blast these infantry to bits, and we can get a better look at them. Yeah, that's that. Stunned. Now they're a little bit more than stunned. So as you can see, really cool that you're just able to zoom in to this level of detail and, you know, kind of watch things. It's very smooth too. I've got everything jacked up as far as graphics are concerned. I think though, even without my 680, the game runs pretty well. This guy's routed, but we're still taking shots at him. Loading. You can see the loading status here. Alright, so that objective is complete. Now it's got control of my cam. And it's bringing us to the next portion of the this is kind of a tutorial. See, this tells you about the deployment menu, which is here. Select units. So you can see we've got this MD Jupiter, which is like a resupply and repair truck. And we've got 2 of them en route. Let's see, your battle group is persistent. The units retain the experience gained. Any losses are final. Command stars earned for each objective will enable you to unlock new units. You can also play yeah, okay. So, secondary objectives are not required. Oh, yeah, sure. So anyway, with these guys, if I keep these guys alive and they rank up, you know, they could follow me through my entire career, even into multiplayer. Now, I'm curious, though, if I lost these units in multiplayer, I'm guessing same rule, like it's almost like hardcore mode. If I rank them up, I lose them in multi. Are they toast? It could be interesting. So we've got this guy. He's kind of hurt. I think this is part of the damage here. This is fuel. You can see we've got some different damage levels. This guy's damaged. And then everything else. So these guys... Logistics trucks supply your units with ammunition and fuel, or repair damage to nearby units. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring them into here and see what they're capable of. Now, as you can see through here, we could bring in more tanks if we wanted to. We could bring in another reconnaissance unit or go for logistics. And now here, I believe this would just pick like the base. If you had enough points, you could bring in ranked units. So let's say you want to bring in a unit that already has some sort of veterancy. You could do that. And then 12, I think, is the cost. And I have 200. So since this mission is still going, you know, I think we could bring in a couple more of these. But as you can see, this has allowed us to repair. Those little markings are gone. They're fully fueled. And I guess have ammunition. But now the Jupiter trucks are pretty much finished. How's this guy? This guy, see, he's not repaired. In fact, you can see that he's damaged. But the Jupiters are out. I think they're out of resources. So at this point, I'm not really sure what to do with them. I know, for example, how much is a Jupiter truck? 24? Why is the truck 24, but a tank is like 12? Or maybe that's how many I can call in. Oh yeah, see? I just called in 2. Okay, so that's not that. I still have things to learn. I just got this game. But where did those... Did I call those in? Oh, I got to set in. So as you can see, I clicked 2. And now I can bring these guys in. So yeah, I didn't do too much of this. So all right. So what I'm going to do is bring these guys just like right here for now. And they should come in from somewhere. I don't know where. Oh, here they are. So we've got these 2 leopards on the way. And they should be part of their own squad. If they're not, I can group them up, regroup. Or I can split them up if I want to. I'm going to tell them move fast and rendezvous here. So what they're going to do, see, you'll see here, they're literally moving in formation on the road. So they'll stick to these roadways. It's the fastest travel route. And then they'll cut off into the grasslands once they've reached the destination. So it's kind of neat that it does that. It's nice that the AI is that smart. Curious if they're gonna... I want to watch if they'll turn. Look at that turn. Oh! Can use a bit in driving lessons, but... Here they are. So now in theory, if we wanted to, we could add these guys to this group, but I'm going to keep them separate. In fact, I might even bring in a few more tanks. I guess what this number was, this is how many we could call in with the points that we currently have. So in theory, what I also want to do is maybe bring in another logistics truck and tell him to come here. That way, he's going to also help rearm this guy and repair him because he's seen better days. Now, current objective, as you can see here, is destroy the enemy bridgehead in Alpha Sector. There's also a secondary here. Destroy the NVA's HQ setup at the checkpoint. And then here we got our truck rolling in for some repairs to our reconnaissance unit. So in theory, normally, if I wasn't, you know, kind of worried about filming this video, I'd probably wait till this guy's repaired, or maybe even bring in a second reconnaissance unit, which I could, just to see what's going on. In theory, I could just say, you know what, screw it. Let's bring in as many tanks as possible. In fact, what I kind of want to do is bring in 2 more and make like another lance with these guys, and then they'll come in, I guess, same route. So there they are once again. And again, we can tell them to move fast and then click where we want them to be. We'll put them there. And see, this guy has already emptied up. That bar is blank. And this guy is repaired, so that little thing is gone. So, secondary objective. Let's check it out. I'm going to be careful here. I'm going to have to move across this bridge. Having this level of control is nuts. To just be able to zoom out and then be like, oh, right in. Like, I never get tired of it. Look at that. To go from a satellite top-down view to this amount of detail. And the fact that the tanks are pretty well modeled and fairly well textured, I mean, that's just crazy. Oh, these guys can't. They have problems with the turns, but I'll forgive it because of all the other stuff that this game is actually capable of. And I also like the really clean user interface. It's just, you know, no fluff, no crazy textures. Just, it's really like, I mean, if you hit escape, see how it kind of makes you feel like you're in a command center? So it's definitely got some interesting aesthetics as well as gameplay in general. And I have to say, I really recommend picking it up regardless of whatever price you can find it at. And hopefully I'll make a few more videos of this. I'm not sure. We'll see how everybody takes to some RTS. Not really that great, but again, it's one of those things that I do have fun with. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you on the next one.